years. For years, there's been the debate about the future and what the future would look like with the growth of artificial intelligence. While some have run towards it, embracing it wholeheartedly, others stress that the end is nigh and the robots are going to take over the world. And while the world's tech giants from Alibaba to Amazon are in a race to become the world's leaders of AI, I would hazard a guess that there are many of us that don't really understand the gravity, the gravitas of this technology, or understand its capabilities. I'm one of them. I mean, I'm probably the only person that doesn't use Chat GPT, or I call it Chatty, which drives my husband mad. Joining me now is Paul Spain from Gorilla Technology CEO. G'day, Paul.
Hey, Leah.
It is good to talk again. Firstly, do you use Chatty, or is that old now?
I use a range of the AI tools, as look, everybody should be, including yourself, Leah.
I know, and I've even said to my husband, I say, I'm going to write something, and he goes, oh, why don't you use, and before he says it, I go, Chat-T. What is it called again? He goes, Chat GPT, Leah. I go, yeah, Chatty. I'll use Chatty. All right, look, a couple of things I do want to talk about with you, Paul. Firstly, AI in schools. So secondary teachers are warning students are increasingly using AI to cheat on their schoolwork. Some are actually getting away with it. AI's got huge potential for improving and helping education, but misuse of the technology is a big problem, isn't it?
Look, I mean, any technology has good potential that can come out of it, and bad potential, and we've seen this with all sorts of things, and aeroplanes and 9/11 and so on, right? So you can focus on the good side, but we must do that without recognising that there are negatives, and we need to look at, well, how do you address that? And I'm hearing in some educational institutions they're moving back to a paper and pen type scenario for certain parts of testing. But also we've got to recognise that tools such as AI, this is part of now, this is part of the future going forward. We're not going to roll that back. So, in the workforce, people are using these technologies, so they do need to be considered, and they do need to be a part of our education. And look, the things the way we used to do things in the past, some of those things will disappear, and AI is just going to be very much a part of how we produce and write reports and the like, for going forward. So you can't completely close the door and say, well, everything must be done without these technologies. In the same way, we don't do that with calculators and computers in the schooling system, right?
No, that's true. And schools say they do have computer programs that can scan these essays and reports for evidence of AI use. But teachers also say that's not foolproof as well. So
not at all.
Yeah. There's probably no program that is. Another industry, Paul, that caught my eye, and I thought, oh, yeah, I can see this. It's happening now, surely. Where AI is affecting outcomes is in the entertainment industry. So thousands of artists, including Hollywood heavyweights, writers, even ABBA's Bjorn was added to the list. They're worried about the unlicensing use of artificial intelligence. And they're talking about fears of the tech companies using existing creative works to train up AI models without permission from the original creators. How much of a threat, because I think this is actually quite a big one, but how much do you think it is a threat to these types of industries?
Look, I think it's going to evolve over time. Just how good the technologies are and what are the perfect use cases. I don't think that humans are going to be put in a drawer and not come back to for work uses. And whether that's in sort of creative field or other fields, I think there will always be a human element. But our role will certainly change, and just in the same way, a lot of industries have and areas have kind of gone away. over the years as technologies come through, and it's evolved. In the film industry, the green screens are used heavily, so that cuts out a huge amount of time and work, and there are lost jobs along the way. But there's still a lot of work to be done.
Well, that's probably where I can see they would be a little worried, because studios in recent years and this, and we've all seen it, in movies, they bring back just the, dead movie stars. They can use very realistic digital replicas by using computer-generated AI, stuff like that. But they're now also using them as, they don't need so many actors, say, for a battle scene, so everything in the background's AI. And I can see why and same with singers and those kind of scenes, and I can get why they do it, because it saves them money in the long run. You don't need so many extra people, but I just think it's almost they've embraced it, and it's almost taking jobs away in this particular scenario.
Yeah, look, I think we will continue to see those changes, but the flip side is we end up with a broader range of choices. The cost of producing a video now has come down, and an individual person can sit there and live stream to the world. That used to not be possible. We've got the platform. We've got all varieties of sort of media that weren't actually possible in the years gone by. So
there's only the platform, Paul.
You can look at these things for the downsides, but you've got to recognise that there's also an upside and often a silver lining to the disruption that technology brings. And I don't think there'd be too many people if you showed them how clothes used to be washed 100 years ago and said, look, technology, it's just made it too easy. Let's all go back to how that happened. I don't think there'd be too many people sticking their hands up and going, okay, yep, I'm with you on that, Leah. I think, we do have to sort of look at both those sides. And look, some of this is not for the better, but it's also quite hard to turn the knobs back, because once the technology is developed, well, it's in the hands of a lot of people, and you can't use legislation that says, AI can't be used, computers can't be used, automation can't be used, robots can't be used. They're just going to be used, and if we as a country don't keep up, then we will fall further and further behind.
That's true.